Hey everyone. He's a little slow on the uptake today. Teddy Bear's a little slow. I think he takes after Punxsutawney Phil. Hey, it's Rita from Miss Rita to the Rescue, and here for our Groundhog Day edition of Cricut Chat. I hope I can get a few people in today. I know I'm sort of stuck indoors and because the weather, although it didn't snow nearly as much as I thought it was going to snow, but it's really yucky outside. And the big news this morning is that Phil saw his shadow, so that means 6 more weeks of winter. Only thing is, it was snowing and raining in Pennsylvania. I don't know how he saw his shadow, but he did. So we've got some more winter coming. Yay, winter! Yay! I actually like winter. I think that's because I'm kind of a homebody anyway, and so I tend to sort of like staying indoors and working and crafting. Other people could probably say otherwise, but I'm so happy I don't have to shovel. I have somebody that shovels for me, and even Owen sometimes will shovel a little bit, although he has a tendency to go out and sort of play in the snow even at 15. So he's not quite the shoveler. So anyway, and he doesn't have school today. They called it off last night. So he's had 2 days off, a nice long weekend. I'm sure they're going to go. I'm sure they're going to go back tomorrow. Anyway, I'm making today, it's kind of a long story about how I got here, but today I'm making some cards for my mother to give to the little kids, because apparently she gives these little kids up in her neighborhood cards for Valentine's Day. So I'm making some Valentine's Day cards, and this is my long-winded reason why I'm doing this today instead of what I originally planned. Was that after our show yesterday, that's when I usually plan for the next day. I start making all my samples and stuff. So after my show yesterday, I ended up on the phone with her, blah, blah, blah. She's telling me everything. It's funny because apparently she's got a friend that comes, and her name is Rita. And so Rita, she's often mistaking me for her friend Rita, and she sends me texts, and they're supposed to be for Rita. But anyway, so Rita has a number of grandchildren, and Rita takes very good care of my mother, so she likes to give them little, dollars, $5 or $10. Apparently she gave $10 to a kid, and they said, "Oh, look, I have $1." And so that she's like, well, maybe I should just give them $5 bill or a $1 bill. I said, yeah, most kids, they just see $1 and they don't understand the difference between 5 and 10 and 20 or 100 for that matter. And so anyway, blah, blah, blah. And she says, it's going to cost me $20 or $30 just for the cards. And I was like, what? Are you kidding? I said, why don't you just give them the cards that I make? And she said, this pen is Cricut Joy Extra Fine Pen 0.3. 0.3. That's small. Actually did it in a gel pen, and I did it in a gel pen and I smeared it. Anyway, so she said to me, oh yeah, it's going to cost me $30 for the Valentine's. And I said, that's crazy. Let me make you a few. And she was all like, I don't know, you might not get it to me in time, and the snow and I said, no, Ma, I'll just do it right now. And that's how I ended up I just smeared this other one again. Anyway, so that's how I got to making these cards, because I thought I'll just make her some of these joy cards. Well, I got to tell you that I love this Cricut Joy, but I guess I kind of, after it came out and I showed people how to do all of this stuff, I didn't pay attention to the cards so much because I thought they were pretty easy to do. And that was a mistake because, there are tons of cards now. I started counting them this morning, and I got to over 200 of these joy cards. 200. And so I think if you had a joy, or if you were interested in a joy, and you only wanted to make cards, then you could be happy just with your joy and a card mat and maybe a couple of boxes of the insert cards. And so I started looking at them and looking at all of the different cards. And they're actually they started off when we first started doing these, they were pretty basic, but I love them. Let me just show you what they started off with. They were just kind of like a basic. These are all cards, folks. There's got to be like 400 of them. I don't know. I got tired of counting, but they started off pretty basic, you see, with just a cutout, maybe a little bit of writing, and I'm not even at here. We're coming close to some of these images might look familiar, but they started off pretty basic like this. And then they started adding more of the writing. And then I noticed that they started doing something called a fold and tuck, which we can do today. And then there's all kinds that have languages like Spanish and French, Italian, I think, and Portuguese, and for every single thing you can imagine. So I'm actually surprised there's not a Groundhog Day one, but there's one for every kind of thing you can think of, which is so smart, because if you were on a church group and you had like a card campaign or something, you could just go through here and find whatever. These are just so detailed. So here there's invitations, there's sympathy cards, there's hello and birthday and wedding celebrations and invitations. I think I might have said that. And so there's just so many of them, including this here, which is called a fold and tuck card. So I'm going to do this one today. And it's so easy. Yeah, they're always improving. So I kind of want to just take a step back for people who are, maybe they're new to the joy.Maybe they've had, the Explore, the Maker, and now so maybe you started off with an Explore and you're thinking, and I'm thinking my friend Bren is one of these people. No, you can't modify those. So yeah, Paula, so all of these cards, which again, there's got to be 400 of them at least, is first of all, you have to make sure the machine that you've selected here is the Joy. Okay, and if you just want to see them, you don't have the Joy, you can do this. This is fine, you can do this. So you would just go to where your avatar is, or your head, your face there, and you would choose Machine Selection. And then you would choose Joy. Okay, so first hit Joy. Then here, right at the top there, you see that there's this downward facing arrow. This is what you would get when you have the home page, when you first log in to the iPad or your phone or whatever. Okay. And so this is where you are, categories. And if you go down here to categories and you choose cards, there are all the cards that I'm talking about. all these cards, all these cards. Now, there are a few drawbacks. I am going to, Annette said, well, you can't manipulate the cards yet. That's true. You cannot. I don't know why, and I've asked them if they could. I think it has to do with ease of use. Honestly, I think it has to do with ease of use, but if you wanted to make these cards and put a sentiment on the inside, it gets a little complicated, a little bit more complicated. But I think the reason why these were designed is so for a real newbie, somebody who's never ever touched a Cricut machine, to be able to feel accomplished when they just open up their joy, you know? Excuse me, I'm having a drink here. So yeah, they've added so many cards. So if you haven't looked at it recently, this is really worth looking at, is what I'm saying. Now, the cards use something called the card mat. This is the card mat. This is a unique mat for the Cricut. It comes like this. It's small, and this is what it looks like this. And this is what it looks like unpackaged. So it has this little plastic thing on the top, and it's a little, I keep saying little, it has a pocket here, and the pocket, let me get a card. The pocket is so that you can take a card wherever there is one here. Okay. So you can take a card and you can put the back part in, line it up with the top here, and close it. So there's sticky on this part. You see, it's sticky. So see that? It's stuck. And then once you have it stuck in there, that's when you put it into the machine and do the cutting or the writing, right? And then when you're done, you lift it off like this and take it out. And if you do it really, really well and you wanted to, what's left, if everything lifts up, you could actually make a second card with what's left in the cutout. I know a lot of people who have done that. So I want to show you how to do this. And I'm thinking, wow, why haven't I paid much attention to all of these lovely cards? Now, a couple of things that I want to point out. This is an insert card pack. There's 12 of them in here, and you get the cards, the envelopes, and the insert. So what happens is once you finish the card, you open your box, right? Whatever you happen to have for cards, and you take, this is the insert, and you turn the inside out and put in the tabs like this. So there's no glue is the point that I'm trying to make here. You just put in your tabs like this, and then you've got your card. And you can change it up any way you like. You see, I've got all different things here. Now, these insert cards, some of them are from the box, and some of them I made myself. And making them yourself is something you might want to consider. But to get started, these boxes are pretty darn cool. The other thing I want to point out is soon, I'm not sure when, but soon there is going to be 3 size cards. Right now, when you see this card and when it launched, it was only for this size card, which is called an A2, 4.25 by 5.5. That's just kind of a standard size card, and that's what this is, okay? But a couple weeks ago, they announced that there were going to be 2 different sizes coming out, and if you see your card mat, you have the shapes of these cards. This is an A1 card, 3.5 by 4.9, and I actually have a box of those here. They're boxed the same way. So if in the future, if you're, thinking about doing this, be careful of the size because you could end up confusing yourself. Okay. So eventually they're going to have these 3 sizes of cards. This is the biggest one. It's 4.5 by 6.25. And then this is the one that's out now. It's an A2. So this is almost 5 by 7. So it's called an A6. This is an A2 and this is an A1. So there's going to be 3 different sizes, but that's not yet available. It's coming out very soon. And so what you need for this is you're going to need, if you want to do just cards, you're going to need card mats. And I will tell you that these card mats wear out fairly quickly. That's why they're priced lower than other mats, because, if you don't re-stick them, you have to buy them over and over. And maybe they last about 2 dozen cards before the stick really starts to come off. But if you are in the market to buy something, to buy this Joy thing, I did find this. This is called the Cricut Joy and Insert Card Bundle. And I think this is a really awesome deal. For $200, you can get 5 card mats and 4 packs of cards, 2 packs of pens, and the Joy. And the Joy, if you know, it was originally priced, I think, at $180. So for $20 more, you'd get all that stuff. And this is all you'd need to make 50 cards, basically, almost 50 cards. And it's really, that is a really good worth it. I'm not somebody who likes to sell, but if you are looking, it has a $255 value and it's $200. And then plus, if you did want to order, I can leave you my link and you'd save 10% off. I believe you'd save 10% off. Not really sure because it's a machine. I'll have to check on that. So, anyway, let's get back to crafting, which is we're doing crafting on the Cricut the card mat. Okay. So I am logged in on my iPad. I do have under my avatar, this here machine selection Joy. And then I'm going from all categories to cards. Now, the way, and Annette is correct, the way that this is set up is you cannot, you know how I am. I like to fiddle with everything. So the thing about these cards is you can't make any changes to the cards the way they are, okay? Except you'll be able to change the size in the future. But if you wanted to make a change, it's kind of like what you see is what you get. And I think that's, as I said before, I think that's because it's for the ease of use for new people or people who are just in a hurry that want to make a card. So when you click on the card that you find that you like, you'll see this is what you get. Fold and tuck XOXO card. It's designed for the Joy. It cuts with the insert cards and you fold and you tuck, and you're going to need a pen and a card mat. And then you are going to, I don't know why it says print then cut. That's weird. But it shows you how after you cut it, you're going to fold the little pieces in. That is the sort of the cut and fold part. So then you hit make it right down here. See, make it. And immediately you're brought to the preparation phase. So you're skipping the canvas altogether. Okay, you're skipping it all together and you're going straight to the make it phase. And so what you'll need to have is your card mat, a card. So let's get a card from here. Well, this one's black. Well, let's try a different color. Let's try a different color because the black is not going to show up, I don't think, the writing. So here's one. So here's a gray one, okay? So we're going to take our card and our card mat. Make sure that you take off this part that is protecting the card mat, and then you're going to open it up and put it inside this way. Make sure it's aligned to the top of that blue bar. Now you see, just so for point of reference, there is the A2. This is A1. This is the A6. So there are going to be three size cards. So you'll have a little more flexibility for cards are concerned. So then you press it down. Make sure it's pressed down really well. Okay, because it's got a sticky to it, and that's how you're going to do better with the cutout. Okay, so then all you have to do is you've got your design, you've got your card mat, you're going to hit continue, and you're going to choose your material, which is the insert card or medium card stock. So under popular, and there'll also be favorites here as well. So here's favorites and here's popular. So insert card and card stock right here, and it's all ready to make it. And it's telling me I need to load the red pen in, and then I need to load my card mat in. Okay, so I'm going to take my red pen from here. All right, so there's a red pen. It's a fine point 04. Wow, my hands are dirty. I don't know why sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to take out this. So we just flip it open and take out this. This is your blade and your housing. Now, for those of you that have worked with Explore or Maker, this is not the same size, as you can see, as your blade is, okay? It's smaller. So that means when you are going to change your blade, and you will eventually have to change your blade, okay? When you go to change your blade, you are going to need to buy a special blade just for the Joy, okay? And then also the same holds true for these pens. You have to use the Cricut Joy labeled pens in the Joy. Please don't try to stick in something. I don't even know if I don't think I even have. Oh, okay. Here's the regular size pen, right? That's the one everybody gets. And I'm not going to force it, but I just want to show you. It doesn't even, when it goes in, it's like, it's just flopping around there. Even if you close it, it's flopping around in there. Okay, so you kind of know it's just not going to work. I don't know if there's a way around that, but I wouldn't recommend doing other than what is suggested. It's sort of like using Apple products and then buying some cheapo Apple accessory. I just try to keep with the same product manufacturer. Okay, so I've got my pen in, I've got my my card mat all ready, and now I just have to put it in underneath these two guides. You see that? And it's telling me on my iPad that it's doing that. And when it's ready, you're going to see this button flash. And all you have to do is hit go. And it's going to do the writing first. And then when it's done with the writing, it's going to tell me that I need to put my cutting thing back in. Okay? So, by the way, if ever, I say this because I have a dog that likes to chew things, or several dogs that like to chew things. And if ever you lose this, you can buy the blade and the housing separate from, it's a bit expensive, but if forever, for whatever reason, you lose or this becomes destroyed by a chewing dog, you can buy this separate. And you can also buy the blades. Blades are fairly expensive, but as somebody else just said, it's it was 4 months before they had to change their blade. So consider that. All of the machines require that you change the blade eventually. The blades are pretty sturdy. They're made from a premium carbide, so they're pretty sturdy. They're not easily, I don't want to say it's impossible, but they're not easily sharpened. And some people will tell you, oh, just take a piece of tin foil and run it through the tin foil. And then you'll be all set. It will sharpen it. It really won't. It might clean it up, but it won't sharpen it. Okay, so the writing's all done. Now I have to put back my blade. So all I need to do, unclamp it and pop in my blade, close it up, make sure to cap my pen. All right, and then I have to hit go again, and it's going to cut. Now, I could see if you had a little one, a grand, or any kind of a little, and you wanted to have like sort of a card making afternoon, this would be perfect because there's not much to mess up here. Now, I mean, there are a few things that you have to be careful of. Obviously, you have to make sure you have a nice sticky mat. You have to have the materials like pens and whatever. But aside from that, this is a pretty easy project, and one that you'll both be like, if you're with a grand or whatever, you'll both be like, hey, that was fun. Instead of like, why did we ever do this? You know, and you know what I mean, right? If you have any littles, you'll know. Like sometimes you think it's going to be easy and it's really not. So this particular card is probably the most advanced. This one we're doing is probably the most advanced of the cards that you could do, and that's going to include the pen, it's cutting, and then after it comes off, we're going to have to do some folding and tucking. But this is as advanced as it gets, is the point that I'm trying to make here, is that it's just not that difficult, and you will have a fun time with your kids, with your littles, and you won't be crying. You won't be crying afterwards. Hey, let's get a couple of cards ready because I have a couple of card mats. So while this is going, I'm going to take out this black one, which is kind of beautiful. Look at that. It's got this black with, it's like a holographic insert. And I think what I like about this is, yes, you can make these yourself. And I can show you how to do that, and I have done that. But you get everything in here. So if you're in a hurry and you need to make invitations or something, like for a birthday party, or you need to do a lot of thank yous, just grab one of these card packs. And you know, you don't have to think about, oh, I got to get envelopes, or I have to cut, I'm going to use this. But if you want something like very you, like let's say you're a pink and green person and you can't find a box of cards that are pink and green, you can use your own paper and make it whatever color you want to use. So there is that. But from a beginner standpoint, there's nothing easier than doing it this way. So here's our card. I want to make sure I don't smear it. But this is what happens. So here's the card. I don't know if you can see here. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift like this. And see, some things come out here. So I'm going to take my card out. Some things come out here and get stuck to the card. Not everything cut out here. So I need to take something like a little pen or this, which is I don't even know if it has a name, weeding tool. I call it a hooky thing. And we're going to just make sure we poke out all those places. It cut, it just didn't come out all the way. All right, so here we go. Just a few pieces that have to cut out. Okay. And almost there. All right, and then here's your little side pieces. Now, from here, we're going to do folds on there, but I want to just show you if this wasn't a tuck and fold one, or you could do it actually after you put the insert in. But here's my little insert piece. I'm going to go on the inside of the card, and I'm going to put it inside like this. No glue. So if you don't like glue, this is for you. It rhymes. Okay, so so to do this one with this fold and tuck, you see there are these little things that are cut out. So see these little cutouts? I'm going to use my hooky thing to show you. So there are little cutouts, and you'll fold and you'll tuck like this under. See that? Let me show it to you again. So this, you're going to fold it this way, and you're going to lift this one here and tuck it under. This might take a little practice. Maybe you want to do it on a flat surface, but I want to show you how to do it. Okay, there we go. So we're going to go through and tuck and fold in these little places. So I fold and lift and tuck like this. See that? How cool is that? I'm going to do it on the other side of the X, and then it reveals the X, but then it shows a cute little pattern that you're making with the paper. I think maybe it's probably best to do this before you put in the, I'm going to do it from here. I think it's best to probably do this before you put the insert card in. Let's try that. Yeah, so easy. Silly Rita. What are you doing? All right, so here we go. Fold back, tuck in. Having trouble with this one. Okay, there we go. All right, so fold back, tuck in. I don't need this in my hand. Fold back, tuck in. Come on, tuck in. Come on. Okay, there we go. All right, so that's the fold and tuck version of this card, and I just think it's so adorable. And listen, I was able to do that while we're chit-chatting, which I think is pretty awesome, right? And then we'll put the insert thing in there. And there it comes with an envelope, so we're just going to put it in an envelope. Fold and tuck, fold and tuck. Fold and tuck. So, sometimes I feel a little challenged. Okay, and that's it. And then you can go on to your next one. So you got to clean off your mat of all those little pieces. And again, if you're really frugal, you can actually use those pieces and make another card. That's something altogether different. But let's pick another card to do. Let's pick, and you could just sit here for the afternoon, go back home, and you could find something that is real fun and just make 100 different cards. Seriously, look at this. My heart pops for you. Let's make this one. Okay, it has popcorn on it, and it's got very little cutouts. So we're going to need to put in a pen for this. My heart pops for you. I wonder if we should put in, let's see. I wonder if we should put in a black one and use that silver, like the silver screen. Let's do that. Okay, so I'm going to put in the black, right? There's silver marker that we used the other day, metallic marker 1.0, okay? And all I need to do here is to load the black pen into the clamp. Now, again, it says black pen, but we can use whatever color, because this is, we're Cricut Chat. We can do whatever we want, right? And so we're going to put in that metallic one and see how it turns out. Let's put that in there. Again, I put my marker in there, and then I'm just going to guide it, make sure it's on there real good. And I'm going to hit go right here. Go. So originally I said that I was going to show you this really cute Hexagon quilt card, which would have been perfect for today, since today is Groundhog Day, and Groundhog Day has its origins in Pennsylvania Dutch history. And it's actually got, it goes back to a Christian festival called Candlemas. And that is just, I think it's just fun. Everybody's like, oh, you saw her shadow, whatever. But I just think it's kind of fun. And I was going to show you this thing that was like a quilt, and but my mom called, and I ended up having to make her some. I don't want her to pay for Valentine's, so I ended up having to make her some Valentine's. So that's what I started doing, and then I started looking at all these cards. I mean, look at this one. How sweet is that? This one here. These are one of the original ones. And you can change it up by changing up the colors. Look at this one. I use silver with green. I think that's real cute. But then here is more traditional red with gold. Yeah, I'm going to show you that Hexagon quilt card. It's just I got sidetracked, okay? So I will show you where to, I'll show you where to get it. But I have to wait until this card's over, okay? And then we'll do it together, because it is a bit complicated. So let's see, just to kind of sort of, get in touch base with what we're doing while this is cutting out, is that you can, in fact, buy this whole thing that is a Cricut. It's called a Cricut Joy and Insert Card Bundle. And by the way, they now have on here, if money is a little bit of an issue, then you can actually use something that they called, I forget what they called it, Confirm or Prime. I don't know what it's called, but it's like a Affirm. I think it's called Affirm, and that is to make payments on it, okay? So this is at Cricut, and if you use my link and my code, you will get 10% off and free shipping. But I think this is a good deal. I'm not really sure if the 10% off comes off of the actual machine. I'm going to have to check that. And then also, while we're here, just to kind of give you an idea, there are lots of different cards available. And of course, the Joy does the long cuts. It does the labels, and we're going to do some labels coming up. So there's a lot that it can do. I think if you already have a machine like an Explorer or Maker, there is still reason to get the Joy, because there's a lot of fun things that it can do that you can't do on the bigger machines. Now, somebody was asking, can I do these cards on my larger machines? These specific cards you cannot do on your larger machines. However, most of the artwork comes from somewhere that's on Design Space. So if you saw one that you really like, you could hunt it down, and you could certainly replicate that. So there you go. So the drawing is taking a while, but that's okay. And I kind of like that it looks thicker, because we used a thicker marker. All right. And then again, so just so you know, just as a refresher, you're going to need a card mat. You're going to need a card pack or your own that you make for the card mat, very specific size, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. The Joy, obviously, and a pen if you want to do any of the cards that have pens on it. So, and there are a lot of different pens, including this set, which is the Ultimate Cricut Joy pen set. There's 30 of them, and they are all 0.4 millimeters. You see, there are all the colors. I put that red one in the wrong place. Got to put it back in my box, so I have a nice full box here. And then there are also other pens, including these metallic ones, these extra fine point ones, and you can tell what kind of pen it is based on the bottom. So here's the medium point, there's fine, there's extra fine, and there's also G for gel. You see that? G for gel. In terms of how to store these, if you start collecting a lot of pens like me, you should store most of them with the cap side down. The gel ones should not be stored cap side down. Oh, by the way, there are also Infusible Ink ones, which we did a couple of weeks ago. We did Infusible Ink on the Joy as well. So there's all different kinds of pens available, all different kinds of these card packs. And so it can do quite a bit. And it does Infusible Ink. It does iron-on. It does vinyl, especially does those long cut vinyls. But this is something I forgot to sort of check in on, because I had no idea that they had so many different cards available to make. Yeah, so it's kind of a little treat. It's, if someone was going to choose between one or the other, it really depends on what they're using it for, right? So if you envisioning like, which one should I get? If you're the kind of person that you just want to make a few cards, or maybe you want to make a couple of those signs, and you're not going to be, like trying to make the Eiffel Tower in 3D, then the Joy is probably for you. And then if you want to, make that, cut fabric, cut wood, then maybe the Maker is for you, or the Explorer is for you. So think about, before you make a purchase, think about what you want to do. And if this looks like fun, and this is about as crafty as you get, then it's cheaper for the Joy, and it does a lot of different things. Okay, Joe, we'll see you. Okay, so we'll just wait until this is over, and there's quite a bit of drawing that's being done. Yeah, so see that? It's with the marker, so it's nice and bright and bold on that black paper. There's quite a bit of drawing. Like if you can see here, all those little popped popcorn kernels have to be drawn, and then the only cutout here is going to be for where the insert cards need to go. Isn't that interesting? So this is just simply a writing card, basically. Yeah, so people are saying, well, can you do these on the Explorer? The thing is that, hi, Dorothy. Hi. Nice to see you. The thing is that, remember at the beginning when we set our machine? When you go and set your machine to, if let's say you have an Explorer and a Joy, when you go and set your machine to Explore, you won't be able to access these cards anymore. That's what they've done. They've made it so that only these particular cards can be done on the Joy. Yes, there's ways around if you could get access to the artwork, but there is no way to do that right now. I don't know why that is. Again, I think it's just they're thinking in terms of people who are just getting working on on a machine, and they want to make it easy for them, because the number one thing that people complain about when they first you could sell your cuties for your yeah. The number one thing that people complain about when they're first starting out with Cricut is design space, right? And so what they tried to do was create a completely different machine that doesn't require having to use or learn design space. Because let's face it, design space can be a little tricky. The way that it's set up, and you do get better at it as time goes on. Okay, it just finished, and now it's just going to do those back, the insert card things. I'm going to get my insert card ready. And this one here, I suppose you don't even need to have that insert card. I don't know. Oh, it's cutting out a few things. I thought it was just going to cut out the side pieces, but we'll use this holographic and see how it's done. So we're going to unload. Look at that. Isn't that adorable? And so when you open it, I'm going to try not to get ink all over myself. You have my heart pops. See that? I'm going to turn that in other way and take out those little cutouts. Try to do it on camera. Sorry. My heart pops for you. All right. And then let's put in the insert piece. I think I need a new, I think I'm going to need a new blade here. Okay, so put the insert in. So these could not be any easier, right? There we go. Isn't that adorable? Oh my gosh. Now, I mean, come on, would you not pay money for this? So if you're like my mother and you want to buy little, like, and you want to avoid all the, little Valentines or whatever, I mean, this is a perfectly easy. I think even my mother, who's not a very crafty person and is older, could probably figure this out. All right, everyone. So that is going to be it for today. And let's see, tomorrow we'll be back. It's Wednesday. I'm trying to think what we're going to be doing tomorrow. It's going to be something that's related to Halloween, to Valentine's Day. So just be sure to tune in. And somebody mentioned, the mini Easy Press. I'm going to pick it today, I promise. And I will make sure that I come back and tell you who the winner of the Easy Press is. Let's see. I think that's it. Oh, I'm still looking for Pam Radar. Pam Roddy Radar. If you are Pam, or if you are listening or you hear this, whatever, can you please contact me via email at missritatotherescue@gmail.com, because you are a winner. All right. And if I don't hear from you soon, I'm going to have to pass up to the next winner. Okay. So there you go. How easy is that? How much fun is that? The Cricut Joy card mat with all of these, literally hundreds of cards. So there you go. And seriously, you're not going to run out of choices for cards here. You could sit here and make for days. She's here, Pam, Roddy, Radar. Are you here? Because you won, and I called your name, and this was a little while ago, a couple of days ago, and I never heard from you. And I need your name, your address at Miss Rita to the Rescue at Gmail. Okay, I need your address so I can send you your prize. Pam, you won. Pam, you won. I called your name a couple of days ago, but I didn't hear from you. So you won the January drawing. That was for being a top fan of Miss Rita to the Rescue. So I just need to get your address. So could you send it to me at Miss Rita to the Rescue at Gmail? Okay. All right, everyone. It's February 2nd to be exact. So don't go and do a Groundhog Day on me. Stick with me. And we're going to have more prizes this month, short month, but we'll have more prizes and lots more projects here on Miss Rita to the Rescue. And if you're not already, please make sure that you subscribed to, the YouTube channel, Miss Rita to the Rescue, Cricut Chat at Miss Rita to the Rescue, and follow me on Facebook to get notifications of when I'm alive. I am alive, but when I am live. All right, Pam got her message. Yay, I'm so glad I mentioned it. All right, everybody, we'll see you again tomorrow. We're going to do something fun, I promise. I just don't know what it is. And and it's always fun here with you guys around. So I thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow, okay? There you go. Take care. I am Sandra. I'm going to show. Oh, you want to see it? Sandra wants to see the card that I'm talking about. So I need to change my machine selection to maker. And the card that we're going to make, it's called a quilt card, Hex Quilt Card, I believe. And let me see if I can find it. It's in projects, and there are a lot of cutouts for this card, and it could probably be done for the joy. And of course, I put my little twist on this card as well when we go to see it. But it's called the Hex, I think it's called the Hex Quilt Card. Hopefully I can find it. There it is, Hexagon Quilt Card. All right, and the way that they show it, it's with buttons and this little heart thing, but I changed it so that it says warm winter wishes, and it has the heart there as well. But these are all individual pieces, okay, that you're going to cut out, shaped like a hexagon, and you're going to piece it together like a quilt. So that's what we were going to do this morning. We'll probably do it later on in the week. And this is where I found it, Hexagon Quilt Card, okay? But you do need to make sure you change your machine. If it was on Joy, change it to Maker or Explore. It doesn't work, Sharon. Oh, that's too bad. If you're a Cricut Access member, there should be a discount code on that, though. Should be like a 10% discount code already. So I think that's a really great deal. It even without the discount from the code, still a good deal. What, Perlita? Oh my gosh, she says, oh my God. All right, so this is something we'll do later on, because since we're going to have 6 more weeks of winter, I think doing a card that looks like a quilt would be completely appropriate. All right, everyone? Okay, so in terms of the access discount code, you have to use my link and my code together. I'll put the link in the description of the video, okay? I always do. And you use the link, and the code is Miss Rita 10, okay? Miss Rita 10. And the link, it's like shrsl.com/1TNBP, but you're not going to remember that. So, but it's a link and a code. They work together. What happens is the link gives me credit and the code gives you discount. So it works together, and you can see all that information usually in the description of the video. All right, everyone, I got to run. We'll see you again later, and we'll be doing some fun things as well. Take care, everybody. Annette, that's coming. The code at Michael's and Amazon. I'm going to be working on that today because I am affiliate at both Michael's and Amazon. So I'm gonna thank you so much for remembering to mention it. I have to work on it. I'm just not so good with the sales stuff. So I thank you all for remembering it. All right, everyone. See you later. Bye.